Yeah, okay. Itazan again against Kazunoko. Cammy. So, this is a matchup that in Season 1 I felt like Cammy had a slight advantage in. And I talked with some Cammy players, they felt about the same, you know. I remember Alex Myers saying that he felt like he would never lose to Stupendous. I think that did happen, though. But, I mean, I think he lost, but I don't think he lost much. In any case, I felt like Cammy just sort of had the advantage in a lot of situations. I felt like her neutral game was solid enough. She had good enough pressure. You know, even against Zangief, right? People are worried about V-skill wake up as Zangief. And it's good because it's armored instantly. You can wake up with it. But the recovery of it is such that he can't just like V-skill and then pile driver, right? Like he has to V-skill and then recover. Or V-skill and then like get the little hit afterward. And neither one of those is that easy to actually get in practice. And I also feel like higher level players will do a meaty attack and then see that you're doing the V-skill, right? And then press a couple more buttons to break your armor. That happened to me very consistently against people who I thought were stronger players. So it's and Cammy, I think the reason I bring this up, Cammy is particularly good at that. With light series and with the, you know, how fast strongs come out. I think she's particularly good at that stuff. So I thought that her pressure worked out well. But I feel like the difference in this, in Season 2, the reason I think it's a little bit more even, I would say it's about even so far. You know, we'll see how feelings change, but so far I feel like it's about even. Is that I'm not as worried about Cammy doing Wake Up Dragon Punch, especially in the first round, right? As Zangief, if I get a knockdown, I feel like I can play games very well and not really be too concerned about that. Her dive kicks are a little bit worse, so sure, her pressure is a little bit worse. You know, that said, she's so strong. She is still so strong. I feel like her pressure in some ways is better. Like when she's already in, the fact that she has better access to the target chain and to, you know, strongs are even more frame advantage and better combos in the corner. Like I feel like she has plenty of things going for her still. So even though she's a bit worse in some ways, Zangief is a bit better in some ways. I feel like Zangief's buffs in Season 2 are mostly about other characters not being as strong or about sort of game engine things rather than his own buffs. But, you know, he did get a couple in there, so mostly in buttons. Anyway, I feel like it's pretty even, but we'll see how it actually pans out here. Itazan versus Kazunoko. You have to establish jump, you know, establish. I'm sure these guys have played each other a billion times. So talking about establishment, I don't know if that's so important now, but you have to let the opponent know that you're willing to jump, and I think probably people do know that about Itazan, because he's never been shy about that. Yes, oh, that was so good. I'd save the bar. Oh, he did spend it, okay. I usually just save it unless I think there's a better chance coming down the pipeline. Oh, good. And now Kazunoko's just looking for anti-air, you can see. Oh, yeah? So the ground works instead? Dang, that was good, though. Yeah, you can really see when people are starting to look at the anti-air game. Maybe two... No, yeah, this is good. You see him back off? You see the spots? He's not pressing buttons. He's not even crouching, really. He's just, like, clearly looking for the anti-air. But, no, he recovered very well. And played that ground game better. That was good.
Round 2. Fight.
So that Zangief forward medium kick. Oh, nice. You can't always press buttons out of it, and that's something I see Itazan do. It's something I do as well. Forward medium kick and to just block, because it causes people to make poor decisions a lot of the time if they're trying to react to it. Which a lot of people are. Understandably. Dang, Fortress of Zangief? Oh man, that movement's so good. Yeah. You might as well. You have super on deck. Oh! I'm kind of surprised that there are so few V skills there. Wow, that jump actually worked? Cripes. No, not quite. Probably trying to confirm. Just missed the confirm. You know, it's understandable.
Final round. Fight.
Oh wow, yeah. After you've done forward medium kick into nothing a couple of times, forward medium kick into something, it definitely works more. Yes. Oh, that was such a sick punish. Wow. Okay. That was really good. Probably about as good as it could have gotten in that situation. So this is somebody who's definitely looking for the anti-air right now. Wow, and he didn't do it. Good patience from Itazan. That was really nice, actually. So you see this range that Cammy's trying to pick? Kazunoko's trying to play? This is a range that is outside of Gief's buttons where Kazunoko hopes that he can whip punish. He also hopes that he can convince Itazan to jump, which he just did. Because Itazan really wants to hit that Fierce with that roundhouse and get into trigger. Into super, maybe. And this range that Kazunoko has picked is really good to deal with that. Whoa! Oh, I really thought that was going to be EX pile driver in the air. I'm surprised that was not what he did. Oh, no, it's just a ad right in the middle there. Oh, let's see. Griffin says, what types of jump timing should be used if you're trying to jump when your opponent isn't expecting it? I feel like mine are too predictable. Yeah, I mean, for sure, one of the biggest parts about playing Street Fighter, or really any like more grounded 2D game, is about when to jump and when to play the ground game. It's hard for humans to concentrate on both the ground game and the anti-air game. Like, that's just not easy to do, you know, to look very consistently for counter poking, for playing an active footsie game, a very button-y grounded game, or not even very button-y, but to focus very intently on what's going on the ground when the opponent is going to press buttons and where they're standing, where should you move? Should you move forward? Should you move backwards? Should you press a button right now or in half a second? That takes mental concentration. And when that's happening, as a player, you know, you're not going to be as good about anti-airing because that's just not what you're looking at. Whereas if you're looking at the air, you're not going to be as good about dealing with the ground for exactly the same reason. It's just difficult mentally to concentrate well enough on both. So that's like really one of the most basic, one of the biggest sort of fundamental things to get about a grounded 2D fighting game is that sort of understanding of when somebody is looking for the ground and when they're looking for the air. And there are kind of tells, you know, if somebody is not pressing buttons very often, if they're mostly standing up, you know, if, well, I guess this is kind of character specific, but if they're not doing things that are actively about controlling the ground, then they're probably looking for you to jump. And if they're standing at particular ranges, like, let's see if I can go back here. Yeah, there was this whole long sequence where Kazunoko was looking for the anti-air. And you can see how often he presses buttons. Yeah, it basically starts here. So look at this range that he's consistently keeping. That's not a range where Cammy can attack from on the ground, right? She's not gonna, she has nothing that will hit from that range, so she's not focusing on the ground. That's not the point. The point is not to attack Zangief on the ground right now. That's what Cammy's position on screen is telling you. And so, okay, there are two other options, right? Is she going to focus on the air Or is she going to focus on whiff punishing, right? Not active footsies, but more like reactive defensive footsies. Even that, she's not really at a range where she can whiff punish. If Gief presses a stand roundhouse from here, stand fierce even, I think that actually comes up. She's too far away to get like a reasonable punish out of it to like really dissuade Gief from doing this. This is a tell that what Kazunoko is looking for is the jump. Itazan's jump. I think he brings in the jabs at some point too. Yeah. So another big tell when somebody is focusing on the anti-air game, but they don't want you to think they are, is that they'll start like whiffing something meaningless. You know, jabs don't mean anything in that situation. A jab is not going to attack Gief. It's not going to whiff punish Gief's buttons. If it happens to hit a Gief button, doesn't matter. It's like 30 damage. Who cares? It really doesn't mean that much. What that is instead is Kazunoko trying to convince Itazan that, oh, Kazunoko's playing the ground game. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at the ground for sure. You can jump because I'm not paying attention to that right now. It's like trying to convince the opponent, you know, that you're doing something that you're not really. You're not really. You can be mashing jab and not really be paying attention to the ground. Which is what he's doing. Yeah, it was really good. So, I mean, somebody at Kazunoko's level is not going to be myopically focused on the ground or the anti-air. Instead, there's going to be a constant switch back and forth. It's not going to be, you know, exclusively one or the other. But as you're learning how to deal with opponents, it's important to figure out which one they're looking for at any one time. And when you're not playing somebody at Kazunoko's level, chances are that they are looking for one more than the other. And so you can kind of like figure that out. So if you are, if you're sort of thinking why people are anti-airing you, or why it is that your jumps don't seem surprising, well, it may be because you're trying to jump too much. It may be because you have given the opponents the information that they don't need to focus on the ground game. They can focus on the anti-air. And even at, you know, sort of mid-level, even lower level gameplay, if you know your opponent is just gonna jump, then you can get the anti-air every time, right? Or a lot of the time, because you don't need to focus on the other half of the game. So I would say the biggest thing in establishing the ability to jump is establishing the ability to play the ground game, because one really opens up the other. They really go hand in hand. It's very difficult to play a grounded 2D fighter like Street Fighter V is without having that, you know, without being able to establish both. Because if you don't establish both, you don't really have either one. It's like if you sort of get the American football context of having the running game and the ground game, if you only have one, then unless you have like the best players, you know, which has definitely been the case in the past, I guess, but in sort of a typical team context, if you only have one, then you don't really have either one, you know, because if you have a credible run game, then that opens up your sort of passing game, right? Because people have to play against you differently defensively, and same thing vice versa. So think about fighting games in that context. Ground game can open up the jump game. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Labrutus says, your jump timing became better when you stopped jumping and focused on ground and anti-air. Jump started coming back into my gameplay naturally. That sounds about right. Yeah. If you can really focus on the ground game, then your jumping game will become better. And one way to do that is to just say, I'm not going to jump this game. I'm just going to go the entire game without jumping. Maybe I'll lose, but it's like a way to teach yourself how to play that grounded game. And then as sort of a byproduct of that, you'll develop a better jumping game. One of the reasons that Cammy is dangerous too, and that I still feels like she's top tier character, is that she can switch so quickly between controlling the ground and approaching from the air and anti-airing. Like, you saw that just at the sort of last 15 seconds or so here. This is definitely, she's looking for the anti-air. That range is a big tell. Right. In fact, another big tell is you see it sort of down toward. You see these little bit of crouches in here. That's Kazunoko buffering for Dragon Punch just in case, and then it comes out. But she can all of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden she's in there, right? So quickly. And Itazan, think about this from the reverse. If Itazan had, if he was the one playing defense right now, and he was in sort of Cammy's position, he was in Kazunoko's position, that EX dive kick might have been V-skilled, or might have been armor fierced. Because that's what he's looking for. Right? He's looking for the approach, if that were the situation. And if he's looking for the approach, then he can better react to the approach, right? But because he is looking so desperately to get in, it's very hard to both look to get in and also look for the opponent's ability to get in, like, simultaneously. You only got so many mental faculties, all right, as a human being. You only got so many. And you gotta, like, apportion them out. And it's hard to do all at the same time. So Cammy, I think part of why she's so strong is that she can threaten from about the same range with anti-air, with the ability to get in. Walk up crouching medium kick is so sudden, you know, to play footsies again. And that mix is very difficult to deal with.
Round one. Fight.
Yeah, she is pretty good. So, before we watch more of this round, I just want to talk about confirming crouching medium kick as Cammy into drill. It's not easy, right? But very important to playing that character. If you can, like, watch K-Brad play, because he's so good at this. Think about all the times when he does stand fierce or crouching medium kick and turns it into dive kick and into pressure. And think about if he hadn't turned it into dive kick. Think about if he had just pressed fierce or crouching medium kick. And think about how different his rounds would go if he had some, I don't know what the percentage is, some significant percentage of his knockdowns are from his footsie confirms into drill. You know, some significant amount, right? I don't know what the percentage is, but it's up there. If he didn't have that, he's missing out on damage, on positioning, on pressure. Maybe he gets hit instead. You know, he's sort of, don't just think about the active payoff, but think about, like, the potential cost, right? Maybe if he presses a fierce but not into drill, maybe half a second later the opponent gets a sweep or something, right? Whatever it is, and knocks him down. Now he's on the back foot. Very easily, could very easily happen, you know, that kind of swing. So the fact that he has that so consistently is a huge, huge addition to his game. But the reason I want to bring it up is because it's not easy to do, and because rather than confirming the actual hit, oftentimes you're confirming the situation. You're confirming whether you've seen the opponent standing up a lot. Right, so
Fight.
Let's see. Notice how Itazan will sometimes just crouch. And he doesn't even necessarily press a button, but he just crouches. Oh, okay. Ends up getting hit there, but it happened just before that.
Fight.
Yeah. See, he crouched, then pressed jab, crouched again. You know, ultimately gets hit, but when you're playing against somebody who really wants to confirm something like crouching medium kick, it's so important to mix up whether you're standing or crouching. And that might sound obvious, but it's not as simple as it sounds, because you have to consider it like another footsie tool, right? So rather than just bringing out buttons constantly, you have to be mixing up your standing or crouching position, because that makes it tougher for the Cammy player to confirm crouching medium kick into drill. So yeah, it's not easy, you know, but you really have to think about it like that. So, I mean, congrats to Kazunoko for being able to confirm it anyway, but we did, keep in mind, see him, and I think the first game that we watched here, when he had drill, was that this match? I think it was, yeah, earlier, when he had V-trigger drill, and he did crouching medium punch, then walk back, crouching medium kick into drill, and he did it. He did the drill even though it was on block. And I think part of that is because Itazan does mix up whether he's standing or crouching a lot. So. Oh, hey, thanks for the subscription. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you. I think that might be my first... I think it might be my first subscription. Because I just started this. But now I'm gonna look. Just to completely interrupt everything. Yep. Nice work. Thank you. I don't have any like stream production value yet. I'll work on that. I'll get something going. Anyway, let's watch video games. I wonder why he would approach like that. Huh. Oh yeah, wow, he was worried. That's pretty unfortunate for Itazan. He gave up that opportunity. Dang, he was so patient. That man was like a rock. Okay. Yo! What? I looked away for like half a second. I don't even know what happened. Oh, he tried the cute stuff. Come on, buddy. I don't think instant overhead even works on Cammy. Wow, okay, footsie tool. Yeah, let's... I don't even know what happened here. What went wrong? Got it. Oh, she flipped. I see. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, remember how I feel like I just was talking about this. V-skill is not that free in this matchup because the opponent can react to your V-skill and then do button and eat it up. But he just timed it perfectly. Itazan did. It's sick. Yeah, I feel like that's instant overhead that he was going for, but I'm pretty sure it does not work against Cammy. After back throw it does? Oh, really? Really? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I use a trigger like that too, just to whip punish things. It's fast once you have it activated. Back throw and running bear grab in the corner. I did not realize. Cool, man. Thank you. Hey. Now, okay. That crashing medium kick into drill worked. Let's look at what Itazan was doing the previous 5-10 seconds. Okay. He's walking. Yeah, you see that? He was just walking. Because, okay, to go back just a little bit farther, he was inputting crouch here and there. He blocked that one. He blocked that one. He inputs crouch a couple more times. And then all of a sudden he's walking. And Kazunoko saw it. God, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. I think he just wanted crush counter. Oh, yeah? Sweet. One crouching jab into the lariat would have worked there. Ah, come on, man. Oh, well, okay, it worked. Spend the bar? He seems to always do it. Oh, hey, man. Oh, dang! Is that it? Wow. Okay, and then it just, for no reason, crouching medium kick into the lariat. Is that it? No, we got a couple more here. That was good, though. Should have vetted this beforehand.
Fight.
By the way, thanks to everybody who uploads their videos and lets me watch. Appreciate that. Yeah, different people have different ways of dealing with how they confirm. Some people, as you guys are talking about, yeah, I should just have ad block on. I don't know. I don't usually keep it on just for niceness' sake, but I definitely have it. Maybe I should just put it on when I'm doing this. Yeah. Anyway, so some people look at stun bar to try to confirm that, you know, if something gets the hit rather than seeing the actual animation of the hit. Some people look for the animation. Some people listen. Some people are trying to hear it. That's easier for them. And you just gotta kind of figure out what's easiest for yourself. Some people look at super meter. You know, for me, I just look at the animations because I have always found that that's the easiest. But yeah, you know, you do your own thing. Oh, okay. There was a battle there too. Itazan was pressing buttons. I'm sorry, Kazunoko was. Man, Kazunoko's so good. That was so quick that he went from looking for the anti-air into all of a sudden he's right in Itazan's face. That happened so quickly. That's not just Cammy. That's also Itazan. I'm sorry, that's also Kazunoko. I keep screwing up the names. Hey! Oh, I thought he would be looking for that. Oh, good stuff. He just buffered that. That was not a confirm. But that was the right range to do it. Man, you remember when I was talking about this exact same thing? What if it was Cammy who needed to get in rather than Zangief? I bet that EX dive kick gets V-skilled. Well, it did. Because as Itazan in that situation, and then he did the jump in, which is exactly what Cammy did. You have to know what people are looking for in situations. That was a sick little counterplay. You got to know that. And what you have to pay attention to hugely informs how effective you're going to be at doing it. If you have to pay attention to a lot of things, you're not going to be that great at doing any particular one of them. It's not that easy. But if you only have to pay attention to, as Itazan was, the approach from Cammy, then you can V-skill more easily, you can get a jump in yourself more easily. He even had the Fierce there. I mean, it was not the right spot or timing, but it was, he had it, you know, he was looking for the jump in. Oh, really? That was gutsy. Yo, really? Did it again? Wow. I do the same thing as Itazan was trying to do. When I see people whip a dive kick or a jump in, I do SPD, of course. Yeah, grab him there. But Kazunoko took the risk. That's so... It's keeping your eye on all the balls. That was the last second block too. I'm impressed that Kazunoko did not pull the trigger on the drill. Oi, oh. Dang, okay, he's just not doing it now. Right? It's just not, yeah, because Itazan has been good enough about blocking things that Kazunoko now is not convinced that he can react. So, good stuff to Itazan for basically taking that away. That is not just Kazunoko not getting the reaction, it's Itazan actively working to make that reaction harder. Oh, I'm sure she could have drilled. Oh man, he jumped in. Dang. Oh, dude, those fierces are so sick. He's getting pretty active, Itazan is, all of a sudden. EX? Oh, well, of course, super. If you got super, then that's even better. This is not probably practically doable. Yeah, I mean, you might as well. Yeah, just, I mean, I get it. In that kind of situation, you know you have no time. You just gotta hope that the opponent kind of screws up. But Kazunoko did not screw up. Alright, what do we got next?